guys, Donna here with your weekly mini reading for June 19th through the 25th, 2023. I hope you guys had a great weekend, that if you were celebrating for Father's Day, I hope that you all had a great time. If you were having kind of a hard day because you're missing your parent or you're missing your father, I totally can relate to that. My father passed in 2016, and also today is would have been my mother's 92nd birthday. So I've been trying to think of them as celebrating together with the family in heaven. Hopefully they're having a great time. I will be using, as always, Healing with the Angels by Doreen Virtue, Radley Valentine's St. Michael's Sword of Light, and then finally the Angel of Abundance card by Doreen and Grant Virtue. All right, let's get started. Last week we had Nature's Signs Emerging, No, It's Not Time Yet, and Successful Funding. So I hope you were able to spend some time in nature. And also, I hope you were able to maybe have a journal and keep track of any signs that you may have gotten from nature, which can be, you know, the birds, and also just walking in a garden. Maybe you saw some flowers or a color that reminded you of a loved one, but that was them being present, right? And that you were realizing how far you've come from the beginning of the year to now, and that you're beginning to emerge into the person that you want to become, right? Because this is just a journey and we're all on it together. So part of this is just us coming to some understanding and awareness. If we're sitting in nature, we're really sitting in it, and we're going to be in the moment, we can hear that tiny little voice inside of us, and we can ask a question and we can get an answer. And last week we had No, It's Not Time Yet. So it could have been something that you were thinking about doing, that you were wanting to do, and last week just wasn't the time to do it. It was to take a pause. But then we also had Successful Funding. So it could have meant that if you were waiting for that windfall, or you needed some money to come in, or you needed some funding for something, that it was coming, but we had to wait for that divine timing. So I'd be interested to know, if you're on my Facebook page, please comment and let me know what kind of week you had last week. I'd really like to explore some of these concepts in a more expanded way. So I am going to call in St. Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel, and see what they have to tell us. This is my new hat. It actually is SPF 50, protects, but I thought it looked cute, so I thought I'd change it up a little for us. There's one. Let's see, what else are the angels telling us? It's also been rather sunny, and I need something to give me some shade for my eye, but really, really adorable, and I love it. It actually, I got it at Macy's in their backstage area. Not very much. I think it was like $13, $12.99, but it's really cute, and I have several, but this might be my new one for the summer. All right, let's see what we have here. We have new beginnings, meditation, and then finally listening. Okay, this is cool. So last week we were working on emerging. We were waiting for that successful funding. Now we have new beginnings. So whatever was ending last week, this week it's starting to move forward. We're starting to expand out. We're starting to realize from the notes we took, oh yeah, I need to be doing this. You know, we made plans. Now this is the action time. Things are going to start to come to fruition for you, whatever it was that you need a new beginning on. And it could be that we're working on endings so that new beginnings can come, right? It can be an ending of a job, a very suddenly, out of the blue. It could be the ending of a relationship. It could actually mean, you know, we've lost something or someone, or something's been taken away, and we feel very sad about that. But now that needed to move so that we can have these new beginnings that need to come in. We need to start fresh. We need to start new. How do we do that? Well, the next card says meditation. Part of this is about allowing yourself, give yourself permission and time to spend time alone, to spend time contemplating what you want your new beginning to look like. This is by water. Maybe some of you are going to go away and you're going to be at the beach, or you're going to be out boating, taking time away so that you can connect with you and your source, so that you can really start to hear what they're saying. But remember, in meditation, it's all about finding the peace within and coming to that quiet place within yourself so that you can really listen to the messages that are being given to you. Because sometimes we're chatty, and I know your head and those thoughts go blah, 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 and they don't stop. So we have to maybe use the breath. I've been using breathing recently in my meditations. That's been helping me, coming back to the breath, staying in the body, being quiet, allowing whatever to come up, just acknowledge it and say, thank you very much for sharing. And then you just kind of go back to the breath, and you go back to where you want the question to be. What do I need to know right now? Not what I already know, but what else do I need to know? How can I find my inner peace? How can I find that new beginning? What is it I need to end in order to have that new beginning? There'll be lots of different answers to this question this week, okay? And it might be nice if you have a journal. Maybe you journal on the new beginning card, the meditation card, and the listening card, because mine is one interpretation of these, but whatever it means to you. There is no right or wrong here. It's really what it is that can help you expand and grow and become who you need to be, and not get caught up in the density and the negativity, which is really, really tough right now. We're all really feeling it. So just remember that by listening through the meditation, it brings you that new beginning. All right, so I'm going to work with St. Michael deck, and let's see what the sort of light it has for us today. Okay. It is, it's not time yet. Again. So I guess we're still in the pause. Even though last week was no, it's not time yet. This must be a continuation of the pause before the new beginning can start. So when you're meditating, when you're sitting with yourself, and meditation can be as simple as listening to music. It doesn't have to be like, oh, now I have to find some time to sit and really be quiet. It can be as you wake up in the morning. You know, have the alarm goes off and you hit that snooze button, and maybe for the time of the snooze, you just kind of sit with it. You breathe and go, okay, what do I need to know? Show me a sign. Ask for a sign will be given. It can be a word, it can be a visualization, it can be a color, but ask that. And then also you might ask, why isn't it time yet? What else do I need to do in order to help that energy move forward? So again, it's not time to take the divine right action, which tells me, since it was last week, that what we have to do is we still have to be patient. So hopefully this will right itself by the end of the week, and we'll be able to be more clear about what that new beginning is for us. Then finally, we're going to call in the abundance angels. See what they have to say. Maybe they have some clarity on that, because I was not expecting, no, it's not time yet, especially since we had it last week, and was hoping that we could move forward, right? Okay, so could have something to do with this. This is face your financial fears, right? When you are honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, They can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these self-doubts. Okay, so that's interesting, right? We have new beginning, we have meditation, and we have listening. Then we have, no, it's not time yet. And now we have facing our financial fears. So maybe what's going on is the reason it's not time yet is when we had the successful funding, that maybe there were still some blockages to us inside of us somewhere that are blocking that successful funding to come to us. And or it can also mean that there are obstacles in the way of that financial funding, that successful funding, that need to be put in place prior to you receiving it. But for now, what they're asking you to do is really face your financial fears. What are they? This is like a core belief. I would recommend that you go back to your childhood. Maybe you go back and you think about how your mom and dad felt about money. That's an exercise that I've done frequently, and I'm sure you have too. There are other methods and ways that you can get in touch with that, maybe sit with that and sort of start to contemplate. If you would like a session with me, we learned in my coaching sessions how to do one that's definitely for financial blocks, money beliefs, and we can tap our way through the unconscious. If you would like to do that, my information will be down below. Just know that whatever it is, there is nothing to fear. That once we realize that there's nothing to fear, then it dissipates, right? And we all have fear. It can come from fear. It can come from love. So if we have a fear of failure, which will prevent our success, right? Because sometimes, is it fear of failure? Is it fear of success? What if I have it all and I can't sustain it? You know, all those fears start to bubble up. And that's a good thing to look at because we all have them, including me. We all have them. And I feel like throughout my life, it's been a constant struggle. And I would like to get past that. However, I also understand that we're on a journey, right? I have something that I need to unblock to have my new beginning. We all are somewhere on the paradigm. You know, where are we? What are we doing? How are we going to work this week with the energies of the angels to see if we can't have maybe a breakthrough? Might feel like a breakdown because you might cry a lot or you might be emotional. You know, you might get frustrated because you can't figure out what it is. And at that moment, you have to do that surrender and release and go back to the breath. Maybe it's swimming in a lake. Maybe it's just taking a time out. Maybe it's going to have some fun so that you can figure out what is going on. But in the fun, you have these epiphanies because now you're not so concentrated on, oh, what's wrong with me? Right? What's wrong with me? Why can't I figure these all out? It's just a process. And part of this is to start the conversation with yourself and with others potentially. So I hope you like this mini reading. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, please hit the notification bell and the subscription, and you will get my video next Monday. I do hope you have a great week. Again, if I'm posting it on Facebook in my business section and also on my personal page and here on YouTube. So if you have some thoughts or you want to share in the comments about what is going on with you, please feel free to do so. I'd love to hear your feedback and hear what you have to say. You guys have a great week. I'll see you next Monday. And don't forget, you're always on my Reiki Radar. See ya!